Save.
All right, there you go.
All right. Okay, so everybody's asking me for my prediction of what's happening tomorrow. So I guess like the best way to explain, or like the coolest way to explain it would be, okay, you get the top here, you do a trend line, right? It's about 10%, and then you move this to the side. Oh, we're gonna turn this red real quick. And then you get the bottom of this line or the bottom of the channel, you go to the top of the channel, and you turn this green real quick. You throw it outside. Okay, so now this is a measured move, right? And it's what I've been talking about, right? For the past week actually, right? Boom, boom. Now, where did price end? Well, if we just grab this bar and we put it on the top here, and we just swing it down low. Okay, so the measured move happened, went a little bit lower. So let's just give it a little bit nicer. And then I think, right, it's going to bounce off it here. How did I get this box? Look, look at where the consolidation is, right? So I got this box here. So this would be our supply zone. Can it dip into this? Sure, yes. But I think it's going to bounce somewhere inside here. Or it's going to bounce now, right outside of it. But I think it's going to respect this box, right? And so if we have a measured move here and we have a somewhat of a measured move here, wouldn't we come back up to here, right? In this area. And look where our red channel is, right? Again, consolidation or bottoms, consolidation, right? Consolidation a little bit, right? Kind of respects this box. It kind of goes down here. Oh, that's the wrong line. It kind of just goes down here, right? Hangs out. So that's where I think price is going to be going, right? So, um, for what's happening tomorrow, yes, what that guy said, I think we're gonna trap some more. We're gonna trap some more before we send it out, right? But also, if we looked at the open interest for next week and all that other stuff, or even no, like if we looked at open interest for this week, there wasn't really any calls, right? The calls were tiny. Like there would be maybe at max 1,000 calls on, especially on Friday. There's a max like 1,000 calls for open interest key on on key strikes, I guess you would say, right? And you also notice that I said that, oh, there's a 510, but then there's a drop to 505. There's no 509, 508, 507, 506, right? So I think we're at the ultimate Bollinger Band. Oh wait, how does this work? Where's my indicators? What? Where's my indicators? Oh damn, I have to edit that later. I didn't know to do that. Okay. Um, I don't know where the Bollinger Bands are, but we surpassed the Bollinger Band by a lot. So I didn't think they had an expected move of going down this much. But yeah, so I think the measured move, there's going to be a little bit of a breath, right? The market's going to breathe because right now we're just racing, and then now we're just going to take some time off, recuperate, and to maybe liquidate some or to make a liquidity grab for some longs, right? So I think we're going to come back up here, right? Just like how we did here in this area. Boom, boom, measured move. Bring it down here. We're gonna end somewhere in. We're gonna get to here, right? Which comes to say, long the green channel and short this channel, and you'll be okay because that's a 30 point, or yeah, it's a $30 move. So that's what I'm looking at. Measured move A B C D, right? Elliott waves, and then it kind of that whole thing kind of makes sense to me because it kind of went to, depending on how you align it, kind of went to the dollar. I mean, not the dollar, but the percentage. So that was really cool. And then now we're kind of hanging out here, and that also kind of destroyed a whole year's worth of gains. By the way, that was crazy. something close to it. What is that? Yeah, right here is a year, right? 2024. A whole year's worth of gains just got depleted, which is pretty crazy, right? And we're from all-time highs. So it's not a bad idea, even if you were like a long-term type of guy, or like if you're developing a long-term portfolio, it's not a bad idea to just start buying now. Right? You're getting everything at like 20% off, right? And I think Warren Buffett said this. Something along the lines of the market is the only thing, or is the only thing for sale that people don't want to buy it on sale. When stocks are cheap, they don't want to buy it. But when stocks are at its all time highs, that's when they want to buy it. Isn't that crazy? Man, crazy. All right. So yeah. Do what? Like, can we go lower? Sure. Like, are we gonna do some liquidity traps? Sure. Or some bear traps? Sure. Right. But I think somewhere in this week, or in the beginning part of the week, we're gonna head up to here. Right. So how many days is that? How much days is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So it took a week. So we could just have a week. This week could be our breath, and then we could either go down or retest this area, you know? So yeah, this is what I think the move is gonna be for this week. 5:35-ish area. It might have some up and downsies type of stuff, and then we can get into it as the week goes on, as we start getting an idea as to where they're grabbing liquidity from. But if you're looking at what I'm looking at, you know, fear and greed index is at 4 or like 6. It's single digit. It's the lowest it's ever been. Um, Tariffs are active, but see, the thing is with tariffs too is that it could easily be taken away, right? Like as a like a think of it as like a bartering chip, right? So say for example you have, you know, 10, or I think it's like 10 or 15% cross board, whether we trade with you or not. So any imports. And then everybody else got elevated that we normally trade with, right, to quote unquote equalize. But if you look at the numbers, I don't know. I don't know. I did some brief research, but the numbers, damn, I gotta review what Bonk said. Yeah, Bonk had a podcast, and he was talking a lot about it. But long story short, he could just take it away or use it as a bartering chip to, um, I'll ease off on the tariffs, give me this, that sort of thing, and that could send the markets to Narnia. You know, um, I think a lot of the information, or a lot of the bad news already is priced in. We already know Independence, or like that tariff day thing happened, and we're here, right? So if any type of movement upwards, I think that would be based off of tariffs or rate cuts, you know, or whatever is supposed to be correct. Bad news is good, good news is bad, because it gets us further away from rate cuts, that sort of thing. But yeah, this is our zone. This is the zone that we're going to be fighting in next week, or this coming, well, tomorrow, starting from tomorrow, and that's where I think we're going to be going. And then if we trap long, or if we go closer, right? Oh wow. Okay. So if we go closer, can we dip? Yeah, most definitely. We can dip, and then we can shoot this price up, right? Bear trap. But also on the same note, we could also flag upwards. It all depending on what the algos want to do at the time. So just keep that in mind. Keep your head on a swivel. It can go down more. It can go down as low as like 595, right, for the bottom of the consolidation of previous time, and then here.
495.
Yeah, 495. 495, 505. Yeah. So that's a $10 move again. So this is a $10 box. This is a $8 box or $7 box. So that's what we're gonna be hunting for. Line by line, algo by algo. See. Um, as opposed to that, that's kind of where we're at. It's a big ass candle. Oh, just to get this on recording, I guess you would say. Um, every Friday at 9:50, or well, 10 minutes before close, whatever time that is for you guys. 10 minutes before close, there's normally an algo candle that kind of does something. It's the balance. A lot of it is the balance. Whether it be weekly, monthlies, quarterlies, yearlies, leaps, right? Um, yeah. So think of it like a multi witching hours. So if it's like a normal Friday, okay, it's probably gonna be small. If it's the end of the month, it's probably gonna be bigger. If it's the end of the quarter, it's probably gonna be huge. If it's quad witching, right, which is everything for future contracts and options, it's probably gonna be pretty fucking volatile, right? So just keep that in mind. 950 are the algo candles. 2 weeks ago we had a algo candle to the upside, and that was like a 15-20 point move. Right. So same thing like this, I guess you would say, but a little bit more upwards. So just keep that in mind in the back of your head as well. You don't really want to trade the last 10 minutes unless you're looking for a lotto gamble. Other than that, Hodor, you have any questions? You have any thoughts?
Nah, I'm good. I think you explained it pretty good. I'm just recording for you. I'm your camera
Thanks.
guy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh wait, so I'm streaming a screen, right? Okay. So if you look at Bane's 30-minute chart of lines that I try not to move around because I can't move it around. Okay, cool. I can't move this one around. I didn't copy it. Um, yeah, we're just in a downtrend, and then now we just hit like this green downtrend here, right? Which is a big downtrend or a big sell zone, precision candle, right? For the overall, for the past like week or 3 days, right? So until we break this, we're not bulls, right? And then we got to break the orange, then we got to break the magenta, then we got to come back up here, close the cup up here, you know. So we're deep in bear territory. So if you're doing long stuff, just cover quickly. Bulls don't belong here right now. Until the sentiment changes, until there's some good stuff starting to happen in the market, we don't belong here. Other than that, you should be bull. I mean, you should be bear, not bull. Um, I have this thing called Trend.ai, which is pretty cool actually. So let's search for a ticker. The S&P 500. So this tells you, or this guy made an algorithm, right? An AI algorithm, and basically every time it tells you to go green, you should buy. Every time it goes red, you should sell. Right? And it kind of just tells you all this stuff, which is cool because if you did a buy and hold, you would be up 5% for the past, I think, year. I think it's like year to date, or not year to date, but running year. And then if you followed the trade signals, you would be at 25%. Do I follow this? No. What I use this for is support and resistance, and uh, damn, this stuff. This is level 3 options. Oh, what is that? Okay, so right now we're just doing level 2 options, right? Which is like they're not naked, but they're just straight calls, straight puts. Um, this one, these are spreads, right? And you can do a bunch of them, right? Yeah, so you can just do a long call, and it'll tell you as price goes up, right? But they have level 3 options, right? Iron condors, butterflies, straddles and strangles, right? And spreads. Um, that allows, or I use this for spread bar, right? you can kind of see where the original supports and resistances are, right? And if you kind of, oh damn it, sorry, it changed a little bit since I last used this. Oh, okay, it doesn't have this. Unfortunate. I guess during the trading hours, they have strike price, and you can basically figure out this thing, and it tells you your percentage profit versus your net credit, then your profit, and then your loss. So your risk to reward ratio, and then it also gives you your chance of profit for the spread, which is kind of helpful because you can kind of determine where support and resistance are, and based off of something that's not here right now. Um, but it basically tells you where the res is, or like little itty bitty pockets of res, kind of like the periscope on unusual whales. But yeah, since we're blowing through that, mm, I guess it made it kind of invalid at the moment. Yep. Um, I'll be diving into this a little later once we catch everybody up to speed. Other than that, that's kind of it. Oh, one more. Sorry. This is black box stocks. And yesterday or Friday, we had a bunch of alpha golds. Now, what are alpha golds? Alpha golds are basically big orders. Wait, I think I have it here. Let's just read it. This alert occurs only after the market opens and is triggered when there is a large accumulation of a specific options contract in a particular stock within a specific trading day. A minimum dollar volume threshold must be met for this particular alert. While the majority of our alerts are used for intraday trades and short-term swing trades, this alert is often used for longer-term trading strategies. And we had 4 of them. Nvidia, I don't know what BX is though. What is BX? Blackstone. Oh, okay. So housing, I guess you would say. So Nvidia, Blackstone, Boeing, and Palantir. Right. So these are all alpha golds, and this all happened last week. So just keep that in mind. There wasn't a lot of alpha golds happening the past week, so it's starting to rear, and they're longer. They're like longer swings. So I don't know if I can get there. Let's see. The LTR. Wait, let's do that video. And what did it open up as? 333. Oh, I don't think I can get there. Oh yeah, damn. Okay, let's do a later one. The LTR. Then when did it go? 915. So you guys look for 915. You see what kind of big ass order happened here. All right, so holy shit. So if you look here, there's like these are calls on the ask, but they're for 2026, the end of the year 2026. So these are, again, it's alpha gold, but it's long. I mean, they're like leaps or really long swings. Maybe not so much leaps, but for this particular instance, Palantir, someone bought like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like almost $11 million in calls on the ask, right, for all 12, 18, plus whatever these are, right? So this whole block, that's all 12, 18s on the ask. So just something to take note of. BA, same thing, right? Oh, I don't think I'm gonna get there. Fuck. So 452, 452. What is that? 452. One. Okay, well I don't see it. It's a lot of bids. I don't know. Yeah, that one's not as cool. But Palantir one, that's 11 million in Palantir on calls for 2026, the end of 2026. So basically like 18 months, something like that. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Damn, man, the Russell's at 180. Shit, that's terrible. Okay. All right. Boom. That's all. Cut. End production. That was cool.